Okay, so welcome back. We are on chapter 3.5, where we can understand and apply multidimensional arrays. So just a quick example here. You remember seeing this from the lecture with matrices. The arrays get stacked in a very similar fashion here. So in simple terms, you're going to have multiple layers of an array, and they operate in a similar manner as a matrix, just the type of data itself is different. So understanding arrays can be multidimensional. The way we pass information or a vector into an array is by utilizing the function array, which is where we can create them. We can create the dimensions necessary for the data right within the arguments being passed. So in the example on my right, I'm making an array. We're going to name that my.array. The information is going to be the numbers 1 through 4. So one thing you want to notice is that the notation here is 1:24. So all the values between 1 and 24 are going to be stored here. And we're going to go ahead and pass the dimensions. We're going to want 3 rows by 4 columns. And that third value is how many arrays do we want. We're going to split that into 2. And just something to emphasize once again, the definition of an array is an ordered series or an arrangement, which is what we're seeing here. So multidimensional arrays can be created, or they can be done by passing arguments to the array command. The dim argument passes the row, column, and the slices. The variable type here is int or integer, since the data of the variable is a vector of integers. So how can we get a better understanding as to what it is that is composed within these arrays? Well, luckily there's functions that can be used at this point to get a better understanding of it. The first one is length. Now the text here does have it as a capital L. It's actually meant to be a lowercase l, as you see in the example to the right. That will give you the total length of the arrays. So remember that we pass the values 1 through 24 to the array, and that's confirmed by the result of length my.array. We can check the number of columns that are used. So the return value is 4. Same thing for the rows. You're going to return value of 3. And what are the dimensions, or what is the shape of it? You're going to have it 3 rows by 4 columns and in 2 slices. So when you have these type of data types, there's going to come a point where you're going to want to extract values from an array. Extracting values from an array can be useful to use subsets for calculations. So the syntax is what row you want it from, what column, and what slice. The drop argument is optional. So we see here on the right that my.array shows the 2 slices of 1 through 24. We're going to go ahead and get a subset. So we're going to want the value in the second row, the third column, and the first slice. The value here is 8. If you follow along with the matrix on the top, you'll see that there. At the very bottom, you can also use different type of notations to specify which ones you want to get. In my.array, you can skip the row and go straight to the column. You want the third column of the second slice. And here's an argument that you haven't seen thus far, which is drop. Drop equals false. You're not going to drop all the values. You're going to keep everything you need from that specific extraction. On the bottom below, we're just going to want the first 2, which we see right here.